Jasmine finally revealed the secret baby we all knew she was having. Summer went off the deep end again when she had another Alex conversation. And Preston finally gave in and had a conversation with Phil, which him and the other guys should have been had. Well, the other guys in Jordan should have been had, because let's be real, if y'all can forgive one another for the crazy antics y'all give off, y'all could have been gave Phil the opportunity to apologize. But let's talk about it. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time you are watching this. Hey, y'all, hey. So as you already read the title down below, I'm about to get into season 2, episode 5 of Summer House Martha's Vineyard. But before I do, y'all already know what to do. Like this video and show your girl some love. Comment your thoughts because I know you already have them. Hit that notification bell and of course, click that subscribe button and join the queen, baby. So getting into this episode, we have Bria arguing with Jasmine, and then that argument turns into Bria versus Preston. And to be honest, I feel like Preston wanted a moment. It went from Bria saying she didn't want Mariah at the house to Preston flipping it and asking her what would she have done if everyone in the house wanted Phil to come except him. And Bria straight up told him, I wouldn't let him come because I had a conversation with you personally and privately about it, and it would have just been no, he can't come. And still to this day, I don't understand why Preston seems like the most upset about the Phil situation when Phil honestly didn't do anything to him. And if we are still talking about the soft comment, let's be so for real. It wasn't no ill intent in that. It was him just being an asshole. But Preston acting like the man straight up told him you a pussy ass against soft as like, sir, relax, because it wasn't that. Yes, he was hyped up and amped up, but it wasn't what you making it out to be. But beyond all of that, Bria and Preston got a little heated. Well, more Bria than Preston, because we know Bria in her mouth is reckless when she feels some type of way, and Preston wasn't going to argue with her because he knows it would look crazy for a black male who's an attorney to get up and yell at this little loud girl. So I respected him for that, but the argument was so dumb because at the end of the day, they all wrong. And as much as people like Mariah, I don't think she should come, just like Phil shouldn't come, period. If one person says no, it should just be that. Y'all been going on with y'all summer activities so far without them, so y'all don't need them there. But I get it, it's a production thing. Mariah was a fan favorite even though she only had one episode, and the thing is, she may come and people may not even like her, but because she was a fan favorite from episode 1, everybody feel like she deserves an opportunity. But if she deserves an opportunity, hell, if Summer deserves an opportunity after putting her hands on Bria too, so does Phil. Now let me also say that it kills me that Bria is the way that she is, because there are times when she is making an argument and she is usually right and spot on with what she is saying, but because she is also a hypocrite, inconsistent, and she always contradicts herself with her views, it makes her stance null and void. She is literally an example of right message, wrong messenger. And like I said in my last recap, I would have been on Bria's side about being upset that Mariah is coming if, one, she said she didn't want her to come and stood on it instead of walking away from the conversation and being so nonchalant about it. And also, I would have been on her side had she not welcomed Summer back as a friend with open arms when Summer pushed her way harder than Mariah did. But because she is so flip-floppy in her stance, I can't side with her because it's a little too late, babes. But Preston is a hypocrite too, because when they left that restaurant and went to talking about everything that happened, he brought up how Bria acts like her hurt has to be worse than everyone else hurt. But he was the main one crying about the Phil situation after everyone had already said Phil wasn't allowed to come. So how you're going to call her out when you technically doing the same thing or did the same thing? Yes, Bria is dramatic and does the most, but you are not too far off, Preston, so let's not do that. But man, listen, Bria is funny and the girl be drunk as hell. That's the real problem. They need to have a limit for her ass when she drinks, because she will be wilding out. Oh my God. It was so funny when she got to her room and Milo completely tore that room up, like all the way up. And she made it seem like it was someone else. And on top of that, she randomly cursed out Nick because she thought he said something slick, like calling her a hoe or something. And Nick was like, girl, what? No, like, what are you talking about, you drunkie? It's like Bria is the friend you just ignore until she sobers up so you can have a decent conversation with her, because her drunk mindset is horrible. And then after all of that, she goes to Nick talking about some damn sleep support. Like, girl, Bria, what? Simon needs to kick her in her ass. And now I'm just curious because I want to know, is this what the Playboy bunny girlies be on? Because not you asking for sleep support with a whole man you claim you is in love with. But then again, that ain't a Playboy bunny thing. That is a Bria thing. Because even Shaniece, out of all people, Shaniece was like, what? This is probably why Jasmine kept saying she didn't take Bria's relationship with Simon seriously last year. Because if Bria was talking about sleep support, I just know she is not going to bed every night alone when Simon is in Germany. I could bet my last on that. Even though she keeps saying, get yourself a dildo, girl. You got more than a dildo. You got sleep support. Let's keep it real. Also, if Bria is around here getting sleep support from people, what the hell is Milo around for? I thought that was his whole purpose. To give emotional support to her ass when she asleep and awake. Moving on for Bria and her madness, I want to say how I am loving Jasmine this season. Maybe I just needed to see her without Silas around so I can see how likable she is, because now it is showing. And the reason I am saying this is because once they got home from the restaurant, she apologized to Shaniece about being the pot stirrer last year, bringing up the topic with Shaniece and her ex. And I respect that because she didn't have to say anything, but she took accountability. And we love a girly that takes accountability, okay? And poor Shaniece, every time it comes up, she gets to doing her little ugly cry, and it's just a sad situation, which is why this needs to be the last and final time we hear about it, because we really don't care. We want to see fun Shaniece, not crying Shaniece. This is Summer House, not the damn therapy house. Hell, let the tears go and bring back Shaniece that shows her boobs or something. Moving on to the next day, Shaniece apologized to Alex for snapping on him before dinner, which was a good little moment they had, because baby, clearly Shaniece was going off on him and we didn't get to see the full effect of it. Granted, they did show a little clip at that moment, but we didn't see it all. And it seemed like Shaniece was just drunk and cursing Alex out. So maybe once she sobered up, she felt like the apology was warranted. But my thing is, where is Jordan ass while all the apologies are happening? Because she needs to be the main one apologizing for even bringing it up again, trying to deflect from her own inner and outer demons. After all of that, Jasmine had a conversation with Bria and basically was like, hey, Mariah is coming, but instead of her staying at the house with us because you're uncomfortable with her, she's going to stay somewhere else, but she is going to come to, some of the events we have. And Bria was like, okay, fine, cool, like, it's whatever. And then they pieced it up. And again, I respect Jasmine for doing that because it shows that she is taking Bria's feelings into account. Even when she didn't have to, when everything is so last minute, because Bria want to be flip-floppy with her feelings. Girl. Also, I think this was Jasmine finally throwing Bria an olive branch with their friendship situation, because those two are very up and down. So the fact that Jasmine really took time to think about it and the end results was her respecting Bria's feelings, I am here for it. But I just know Bria is going to do something that's going to piss me and everyone else off, because she is just selfish. I mean, that's just Bria. It may not happen in this episode, but we got to watch her. So after we seen Jasmine cater to Bria's feelings, we get to a scene with her and Preston talking, and they both basically apologize to each other, and Preston tells her that she is a brat. And the thing is, Bria already knows she's a brat, and it's a trait of her she probably would never change, because more than likely she will probably get her way once everything is all said and done. So, that ain't really moved the needle. Then, which is sad, because Bria grew up. Then Bria told him that, it's okay or whatever. And if him and Phil can get on a call to have a conversation. And Preston was like, yeah, but I don't want him to have any expectations afterwards. And instantly I was like, thank you. Finally. This is what I have been screaming about for the longest when it comes to this whole situation. I feel like they all should at least give Phil the opportunity to apologize for his behavior. Because let's be clear, everyone in that house has done something to somebody to make them feel some sort of way. And they all end up apologizing and everyone moves on like everything is fine. So why isn't Phil extended the same grace? Hell, Mariah should be extended that same grace with Bria as well. So I'm not trying to choose a side. I'm just saying they both should be treated equally. Like, yes, Phil was irritating, but he did not put his hands on anyone like Summer and Bria. I mean, like Summer and Mariah. So why is he being treated like the outcast? But anyways, I was just happy to hear that Preston was open to it, and I would like to see if the other guys are open to it as well, so we can get over this hump and we have Phil and Mariah come back, because we need some new energy in the house at this point. Golly. Anyways, moving on from the apology, let me just say this. Bria and that damn Milo, listen, we are tired, okay? First off, Bria ass really was trying to bring Milo into the club and got mad when the people told her no, he can't come in. And she said, well, clearly this isn't a real club. Girl, no, people don't want to party with Milo ass. He should have stayed home. What the hell? But I can respect that she took the L and decided to stay in the car while everyone else went out, went inside the club. And, she ain't asked for nobody to drive her home. She ain't complained about it. She just went to the car, and it was what it was, because she knew the chances of that happening was very high. Like, girl, what? But moving on from that, it's time for Amir to throw his get-together for the house, and he decided to throw a rodeo day gathering, which is on brand for him since he lives in Texas. So as they all are getting ready, we see Preston and all his goodies, honey. And I am confused. Why are we out here seeing Preston whole ass? Man, I was so tickled and also curious, because what type of undergarment he had on, because baby, it looked confusing and uncomfortable. Maybe it's just not meant for me. But enough about Preston and all his cheeks, child. We got to see him have a conversation with Phil, and I loved it because Phil apologized. The conversation was lighthearted. He got to see the other side of Phil that Bria and Shaniece have been talking about. And Phil talks about how he's in therapy, but all I could say was, boom. That's all y'all been needed to do. I already knew if they all just had the conversation with Phil, all the animosity they had against him would have been gone, because you can tell he wasn't a bad person. He was just a lie. Like, Bria is a lie. And if you can deal with Bria ass, I am sure you can deal with Phil. All it takes is giving people a chance. Like, damn. Moving on, when they got to the ranch that Amir is having the rodeo at, of course, Jasmine can't get on the horse because of the baby. And at this point, it's obvious. And even though I don't want her to tell them just yet, at some point she's going to have to, because if you've always been the friend that likes to do fun stuff like ride horses and drink, and out of nowhere it just stops, I mean, it wouldn't take a rocket science to figure out what's really going on. Speaking of a damn scientist figuring things out, baby, that's clearly what Amir has to be for his girlfriend, because he said that she does little things where if something is bothering her, she wouldn't tell him exactly what it is. She would just make little face gestures and he'll have to figure it out. Like, boy, what in the high school is going on here? Isn't Amir like 30 something? Why is he okay dealing with a girl who clearly is a terrible communicator? And on top of that, you are scared for your life of this girl. Hell, every chance Amir gets, he tell us if he blinks the wrong way, the girl will cut off this and slice up that. It's giving weird and it's not cute. How he may assume it's coming off, but if he like it or love it, child, who knows? But moving on from Amir and his fake crazy girlfriend, because we got bigger fish to fry. Like, sick in the head Summer. This girl has gone off the rails again when it comes to the situation with her and Alice and Noel. And every time she proves to us that she damn near was in love with Alex, how she acts. But anyways, Bria asked if Summer and Noel had a talk about Alex. And Summer was like, she didn't feel the need to tell Noel about her dealing with Alex because she wasn't sure if, Noel would like him because they haven't really met yet, which I totally understand. I get it. Makes sense. But also, if Noel's supposed to be your friend, air quotes, I would assume you would tell her like, girl, this one boy Alex will be there and we slept together, so I'm going to try to avoid him, or something like that. But she didn't, and she expected Noel to just, guess that they did the nasty together. Only going off of Summer telling her they were hanging out. Like, girl, we are grown. We do not have to play those type of games. Like, who has time to play guess what I did with the boy at some house? Like, be for real, be straight up, and say what it is, and move, and let's all move on. So because they are having the conversation again, Summer gets all tense and tight and decided to storm off, just being weird because it was never that deep. At least we think it's not deep based on what Summer is saying. Yet her actions tell a whole different story. Like, girl, relax. And then she made it seem like Bria was the reason she lashed out and stormed off. But let's be for real. Bria didn't do or say anything to have you act that way. If anything, Bria was agreeing with you. So Summer just needs to stop all that lying. Like, oh my God, it's so irritating at this point because we see right through all of it. Anyways, as the day goes on, they get ready for dinner. And Jasmine tells them that a guest is coming. And of course, everyone is confused. Hell, Bria thought it was going to be Mariah. So you know she was hyped. Which is also weird to me, though, because Jasmine had already told Bria that Mariah wasn't really going to be around them. Like, she'll just be around events. And y'all was having dinner as a house. So why would you think it's Mariah? Like, let's be for real, Bria. But anyways, finally it's time for the guests to arrive, and Jasmine's like, well, guys, the guest has already been here the whole time, and revealed that she's pregnant, and everyone is happy for her. But the only person confused and lost is Amir, per usual, just a sitting duck. But everyone else was looking more fake surprised than actually surprised. But most of them already expected it, so I guess that's why. I'm just happy that Jasmine can finally let it go, because all the fake lying she was doing and trying to hide it wasn't working, and it was just about time. And baby, I did not know she was holding in her stomach all that time. It's just no damn way, man. She's a real one, because baby, they would have known before we arrived, because who about to walk around the house sucking in their stomach all day? Not me. Girl, ain't nobody got time for that. But congrats, Jasmine and baby Cooper. Oh, and Silas on starting your new little family. And oh my God, it's a boy. Lord Jesus, Silas is about to raise that child like a soldier. I wish it was a girl first, so she could have softened Silas up a bit. But you know, we'll take the boy. We need more boys in the world. Black boys, to be exact. I also feel bad that Silas may not be here for the birth of their child, and Jasmine won't have him there with her. Like, that's just so sad, and that's just a lot. Like, oh my God, the older I get, the more you realize, like, you really want your partner there. Like, oh my God, I feel so bad for her. But, bruh, Jordan is just messy. She's out here throwing out hints that, you know, maybe this isn't really Silas' first child or something like that. Like, she just being messy. And she wonder why she out here fighting demons. Girl. But after the big reveal, they end off the episode with the talent show hosted by Noel and judged by Preston. And why did Noel, Shaniece, and Summer create a group that only sings meow, meow, meow like a cat? And I seen them earlier practicing that mess, but I didn't think anything of it until they performed it at the Apollo night. They just so silly for that. But I can't lie, I think Nick and Jordan was the silliest because they came out imitating each other. So Nick was dressed up as Jordan and Jordan was dressed up as Nick. And it tickled me a little bit, I can't lie. Then Jasmine did a little rhyme. But what took me out is that damn Alex and his singing. Like, sir. Yeah. Anyways. Bria ass decided to continue with her Bria's World theme, and she came out doing damn kicks and twists like a kid at the circus and using Milo as her prop child. Was Milo supposed to be the damn lion that jumped through the hoops? Like, what is going on? And then Amir ended off the show with a boring poem child, but Preston let him win, and I'm aggravated because hell no. It should have been Nick and Jordan, and everybody knows I don't care for Jordan, but I think it was pretty funny. I liked it, the little comedy aspect. But enough of my rambling. I want to hear from y'all. So like this video and show your girl some love. Sound off in the comments with your thoughts and let me know how you felt about this episode. Hit that notification bell, and last but certainly not least, subscribe and join the queen, the baby. Bye.